YouTube? Welcome back to Ravenwood Acres, and today we're going to talk about RV furnaces. Woo! Excited? You're probably like, what? No, really, the underlying basis of this video is more about self-reliance. And really, that's the underlying basis of my channel. Self-reliance, self-sufficiency, preparedness, it all put together. It's not about, buying a bunch of MREs or getting a bug out bag or buying tons of guns and ammo. Okay, yeah, some of it is, right? But what happens when something breaks around your house and you can't afford to have a repair guy come out and fix it? Or there's no one available to come out and fix it, or not for days or weeks or so on and so forth. That's happened quite a bit, especially here in 2020. What's another thing that's been a problem here in 2020? Jobs, right? People getting laid off or not working as much or so on and so forth. That can always happen. So building some depth to your portfolio and your abilities, your skills, your knowledge, equates to preparedness. It also can equate to, more money in your budget. Money that you're either not spending out of your budget or money that's getting added to your budget that wasn't already calculated for, right? A paycheck, whatever. Some sort of steady income. So, backstory on the RV furnace. Family member currently living in a fifth wheel while they're searching for property. Had furnace issues. Call the repair guy to come out like most people do, right? $90 service charge. Comes out, says, I'm not going to work on that. I'd want to tow your RV into the shop and do it there. Well, there's a bunch of extra money just for that. Because they don't have the ability to move it. They'd have to pay someone to move it. I get it. The way their furnace is set up, it's not you can't work on it from externally. You have to basically pull the whole furnace out to work on it, which is a pain. A lot of them are set up like this style is set up to be worked on. Like there's a panel on the front here and you pull that off from the outside, but I digress. So got me thinking, because I'm trying to help this family member out, of course. What do these things go for used? What do they go for new? So on and so forth. And they range all the way up in the $1,000 range down to used in the like $300 range. Or what I got this one for. Yes, it wasn't working. Still not 100% working, but we'll talk that here in a second. It for $50. So a couple own this, obviously out of their RV. We're trying to get it fixed. They'd replaced a bunch of parts on here. Still couldn't get it to light. It to ignite. It would turn on, but wouldn't ignite. So they said, make us an offer. And I was like, I don't know, $50. Because I had no idea the condition, really. Just based off their quick little description and their write-up. They're like, are you sure? Like, I was offering them too much. They're like, you do realize this doesn't work? I'm like, yeah, sure. $50 is worth me learning something new, or worse, if I couldn't get it to work, I could probably sell it used again for $50 or sell the parts for more than that. So I went ahead and purchased it. Whole learning lesson in wiring here. Not so much that I didn't know how, they'd cut a bunch of the wires. So I had to figure that out, find the diagram. There was an additional part that wasn't in the factory diagram, this time delayed relay, which, by the way, there's two good working ones that came with it, and they're over $70 a piece and brand new. So, right there, I could just sell those used and get my money back if I decided not to continue with this project. And then, like I said, they cut a bunch of the wiring, so I had to refigure out how they did the wiring. I got it up to, it's igniting, lighting, but now it's kicking off. So I got another step I got to, troubleshoot and figure out. That part's pretty easy. There's tons of videos on YouTube. I'll put maybe a couple of those channels down below if you're an RV person and you need to figure this stuff out for yourself. But to get one of these running. Okay, so on to my second point here really was there's side hustle opportunity in this. To where my family member's at, there's only one guy really locally. And that's the guy that charges $90 just to come out and look at it and tell you, man, bring it into my shop. I'm not working on it here. Okay, well, that's a pretty good gig, right? So he probably is able to charge that because there's not a lot of competition in that marketplace. Add some competition in that marketplace if you're interested in, you're laid off for a while, or you got some extra time because you're working from home or something like that. Or you could do what I'm potentially doing with this, is buy used ones offline that aren't working, fix them, and sell them as repaired. As long as you got all the tools and pieces to get set up, don't go out and spend a ton of money on something that you may or may not do long term. But if you got a lot of this already, the only thing I'm really into this is I bought some couple extra spools of wire and some connectors and a propane line and some fittings. So I think I'm right around about $25, other than the $50 I already have into it. I do have to get a few more things, but like I said, I don't want to digress. So that flipping option, or hey, maybe I decide to here in the workshop, because right now I work off a little 5,000 BTU Mr. Buddy propane style heater here in the winter. But keeps the chill off in here, pumps it up maybe about 10 degrees warmer than it is outside. And hook this 16,000 BTU, 16,500, I think is what it's advertised, output in my workshop that works off 12 volt. Hey, boom, power goes out. I still got propane. I still got 12 volt battery that I could run this thing off of and take the chill off in here, because my dogs sleep out here. So of course it gets really cold if something like that. I might bring him inside, of course. But anyways, I just wanted to just touch on that, because I feel like that there's tons of opportunities out there, and people get hung up when they start thinking about self-reliance and thinking about preparedness. They get hung up on the sexy stuff, right? The fancy stuff. All the stuff you can throw on your Amazon wish list and hope you could, buy MVGs and guns and ammo and MREs and, all the gadgets. Which there's a place for that too, right? In that whole world. But if you have those skills, what are you going to do when your furnace goes out in your house and it's 25 degrees outside, or worse, even colder, and the repair guy's not available because he's out on other service calls and you're number 12? And so what are your options? Maybe with these skills you learn through something like this, you might be able to fix that yourself, save yourself some money, and save your house from your family from freezing. Yes, of course, I'm sure you might have some alternate sources of heat, but just think about this. The skills, you can't take skills away. So, with that said, I appreciate you all watching. Make sure if you have questions, comments, whatever, concerns, place them down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and you can also check me out over on Odyssey, link below. If you prefer alternate sources other than YouTube, my channel's over there, and every video that gets published to YouTube also gets published there. This is Nomad76. Have a great day. All right, and just like that, I threw in the exhaust pipe, which probably created a little more back pressure, and it stayed lit. So with about $75 into it right now, I do obviously have to actually build the wiring harness and fix the current wire mess they got going on here. So I'll probably spend another $20 maybe at most, because I got to buy a circuit breaker. I already have a switch and get that all installed. But now I have a working furnace for maybe $100, and these things used could easily go for $350. So pretty awesome. Thanks for watching.